Judging from everything that's happened thus far, especially if you've been keeping up with these analysis videos, we know almost for a fact now that Yozora is indeed intended to be a metaphor for Noctis, but not the Noctis that we know from the released 2016 game Final Fantasy XV, but rather the hidden Noctis of Final Fantasy Versus 13, the Noctis that we never got to know due to the game's cancellation and conversion into the 15th mainline Final Fantasy entry. This deep metaphor that Tetsuya Nomura, the game's director, has been painting for us using the canvas of Kingdom Hearts 3 contains more than just pseudo-Noctis. There's also a woman who is clearly meant to satire Stella Nox-Fleuret, the heroine of Final Fantasy Versus 13, who was unfortunately removed during the conversion to Final Fantasy 15, as she no longer had a place in the new story. Instead, a character named Lunafreya was meant to replace her. But what if I told you that Stella was in Kingdom Hearts 3? Or rather that her Verum Rex mirror character and her are both speaking on the same behalf. Let me explain. As you may or may not know, Stella is Latin for the word star. In Kingdom Hearts 3's final world, you'll find yourself speaking to stars that have lost their proper form, as they were once human beings, though there is one nameless star in particular that Sora has a lengthy conversation with, and it's this exact star that is meant to be a metaphor for Stella, at least according to the ongoing speculation. Sora and this helpless, nameless star have quite a lengthy conversation. Sora then prompts this star by asking whose heart she is, to which she replies, quote, "No one's anymore. They took away my name, everything about me." According to this theory, this represents Stella's name being taken away and replaced with Lunafreya, along with all the identifying elements about Stella being morphed into her. The star then implies that her heart pines for another, to which Sora inquires if that person is going to be coming for her. She says, "I cannot be certain. He's been changed beyond recognition. His heart replaced with another's." And this is where Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind comes into play. When Sora confronts Yozora, Yozora's response is one of surprise, as he's perplexed that Sora could recognize him when this isn't how he normally looks like. This seems to strongly suggest that both the one the nameless star is looking for and Yozora himself have both had their appearance changed. The implication of this, the one the nameless star is looking for is most likely indeed Yozora. When she says his heart replaced with another's, it also seems like a metaphor for Final Fantasy XV Noctis versus the original vision for him in Versus 13. So Yozora's heart being replaced with another might explain why he looks different. This also provides somewhat of a more clear context to Yozora's motivations in the secret episode, with perhaps Yozora attempting to save her. The nameless star believes this to be the case, as she states that she's chosen to wait here so that he can find her. This is oddly similar to Noctis' motivations in Final Fantasy Versus 13, who was in pursuit of Stella. According to a rumor whose legitimacy is still wondered about to this day, Stella was rumored to be dead at the start of the game, a phantom that only appeared to Noctis. If that did turn out to be true, the parallels being drawn here between the nameless star and Stella would be pretty interesting, especially with her sitting here in what is essentially the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of the afterlife. When Sora asked who did this to the nameless star, and suggesting that perhaps it was a nobody, the nameless star clarifies that it was not a nobody, but indeed a somebody who did it to her. Potentially this isn't some sort of normal Kingdom Hearts villain, but something else. Some people have even taken it to be a metaphor for Square Enix themselves, who ultimately were the ones behind removing Stella from 15's continuity. In concluding the conversation, Sora wanted to know who the boy she was looking for is. The nameless star then whispered to Sora what his name was. We obviously don't hear it, and it's left up to the player's imagination, with the nameless star insisting that it's their secret. Though you can imagine this is most likely Yozora, as when Sora encounters him, he has something to ask him. Other than knowing that he was a video game character in Toy Story's world, what else could Sora have to ask of him? So I am inclined to believe that the Nameless Star Theory is true. Furthermore, in the E3 2013 trailer, which converted Versus 13 to 15, Noctis was shown sitting in the car thinking about Stella, uttering the words, "My heart won't let go." Was this scene intentionally used to draw parallels to the fact that Yozora's heart also won't let go? Ultimately, it does make me believe that the Nameless Star is meant to be Verum Rex's take on Stella. Everything, including her name and identity being taken away from her, is an exact metaphor for what happened to Stella Nox-Fleuret during the conversion conversion from Final Fantasy Versus 13 to Final Fantasy 15, when Nomura was forced to leave the project. I very much believe she's going to play a huge role in whatever path Verum Rex takes going forward, and restoring her might prove to be a prime motivator for Yozora. So Ultima Weapons, what do you think of the Nameless Star Theory? And do you think it's meant to be brunette Stella, and indeed a metaphor for the real Stella? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let me know in the comments below. And if you value the content on this channel, be sure to check out the Patreon for the Night Sky print, where incredible people like Vincent M are what help keep all these videos coming. So if you'd like to directly contribute to the channel, there's a link in the description below. Shout out to Vincent and the rest of the Ultima community.
Was I born to be betrayed? Was I born to simply die? Can I bear to see